Now you say,
what up, nigga?
My nigga.
I'm a real nigga.
You a real damn fool.
Step the way I step, something in my jeans. F-O-I-N-O-Y, you know that's the team, huh?
Black man, you are not a nigga. You are the original man. The Asiatic black man. Asiatic? What the hell does that mean? I ain't Asian. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that the entire earth, the whole earth, was once named Asia. Not just the continent, the whole earth was called Asia. And white scholars can bear witness to this, because you can even look at old maps and you will see that the earth was called Asia. You're not just from Africa. You're not just from Ethiopia. You're not just from Kemet. The earth belongs to the black man. You are the Asiatic black man. The maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth. Now cream always what? Cream rises to the top. The cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. You are a God, black man. You are a God, black woman.
Every time you look at a black man, you're looking at God. Right.
I'm gonna say this again. You didn't hear me. You didn't hear me. You are a God, black man. You are a God, black woman. You too, not goddess. You are a God, black woman. You're not the God, the creator of the universe, but you are a God, that little g, not that capitalized G, but that little g. The Bible bears witness to this, Christians. It says that we was made in the image and likeness of God. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. See, black man, you cheapen yourself by calling yourself a nigga. Yeah, you cheapen yourself. When you use such a word to describe yourself, to describe your brother, nigga, you just show the world how ignorant you are. How ignorant you are to the nature and being of yourself. Your origin or beginning is not just slavery. You may believe this, but you were not in Africa swinging on vines. The white man made you think this of yourself in his school system. Civilization started with you. Civilization started with the black man and woman. You see the white man today and you're astonished from his skyscrapers. You're astonished by his jets and cars and riches and mansions and clothing and luxury. But everything the white man knows today is because you taught him. You, black man, you, black woman, taught civilization to the white man. Civilization started with you. You taught him. The white man, many years ago, was coming to Africa. He wasn't coming to Europe. He wasn't coming to America. He wasn't coming to Asia. He was coming to Africa to learn how to be civilized. You, the black man, taught the white man how to bathe. You taught the white man how to bury his dead. You taught him how to put clothes on himself, clothes on his woman, and cover themselves. You taught him how to have lights in their cities and lights everywhere and light up their streets. You taught him that. You taught the white man. You invented mathematics. You invented algebra, geometry, calculus. You invented all the branches of science come from biology, from chemistry, from physics. All of this came from you. Literature, language, writing, reading, all of this was invented and came from you. Then how come today, the black man and woman struggles with reading, struggles with writing, struggles with math? That's because you've been asleep, black man. You've been asleep, black woman. You are a sleeping giant. But once you wake up and choose to accept your own and be yourself, there's nothing in the universe that you cannot master. Sun, moon, and star. You are a god, black man, not a nigga. You say nigga means
never ignorant, Getting goals accomplished.
You say nigga comes from negus, meaning ruler. Well, if we took a word that was used by our former slave master, used by our open enemy, and we used it truly to be positive, we took nigga and we made it positive, then how come we never use the word nigga in a positive sense? We never use nigga in a positive sense. Often we never do that. Every time I hear the word nigga being used, if it's in rap, or if it's in the movies, or if it's in the streets, you say, I'ma smoke that nigga. You say, I'ma kill that nigga. Let's jump that nigga. Let's rob that nigga. You ain't never, you lying, you ain't never used the word nigga as a positive word. So stop saying that. Stop saying it. You hardly say, let's unite, nigga. Let's pool our resources, nigga. Let's get intelligent and do for self, nigga. See, you don't even sound right. To conclude this video, what even is a nigga? Well, watch this clip from Brother Abdul Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaching on the word nigga.
Let's answer the question. Can y'all see that? The word nigga, which is our favorite word, if we had $1 for every time black people use the word nigga, all of us in this room would be richer than Bill Gates, right? All of us in the room would be richer than who? Bill Gates. So now, I'm gonna put both spellings on the board. Y'all got that? Because some people would tell you, well, see, yeah, this is what white people called us, right? But see, what we use, no, you see what I'm saying? A nigga, see, Tupac say, it's never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. You see what I'm saying? That's what we would say, right? And Tupac did say that, but we want to know, what does the word mean? Because, see, everything is given a title based on its what? Based on its function. Are y'all with me? So you sit in a chair because the function of a chair, or we call it a chair because of what it does, right? We call a car because of what it does, right? We call the pen a pen because of what it does. Now you can take the thing that has a name and you can use it for a different purpose, right? I mean, you can use a chair as a weapon and bust somebody in the head with it, right? You've seen enough WWF to know that, right? But is that the purpose and the function and the reason that you call it a chair? That's not the purpose or the function or the reason that you refer to it as a chair, just because you can bust somebody in the head with it. So the question is, just because you use it in a different way, does that mean that it has a different meaning? That it has a different function? Well, we know that this word nigga or nigga comes from the word Negro, right? When you were in public school, right, they told you that the word Negro means what? They said it means what? They told you that it means black, but guess what? That's just half the truth. And you know a half-truth is a what? A half-truth is a lie. That's what you've been telling your parents all your life. A bunch of half-truths, right? They smack you upside the head and say, stop lying, right? So now, you may have a little boyfriend, Ray, Tyrone, Clarence, somebody, and your mama say, girl, I don't want you going back over Clarence's house no more. He ain't no good. So then you over there the next day. You come home, your mama asks you, girl, where you been? You better not been at Clarence's house. You're like, no, mama, no, I was at Kiki's house. But you never tell your mother that Kiki is Clarence's sister, right? So that's a half-truth, right? And a half-truth is a what? A half-truth is a lie. All praise is due to Allah. So what we've been given from the enemy is a lot of half-truths. And they leave out the part that's critical so that they can deceive us with the half-truth. Are y'all listening? So the white man says, well, Negro comes from the Spanish word negro, which means black in Spanish. You go to the dictionary and you see, oh yeah, negro, yeah, it means black in Spanish. We Negroes. But that's a half-truth. The word negro in Spanish, right, it comes from the Spanish. Y'all got that? And it does mean black, but it only refers to something that is dead. So it means black, but it's only used to refer to inanimate objects. Black car, black shoes, black shirt, black pants. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It is not used to refer to things that are black and alive. Y'all with me? It's only used to refer to things that are black but have no life. Y'all got me? So now the word that is used to refer to a black person in Spanish is moreno, not negro. So you have to ask the question, why is it that when we were brought in slavery, why did the enemy use the word negro to describe black people? Are y'all with me? We know that Spanish comes from what Latin? I mean language. Latin, right? And Latin comes from what? Greek. Are y'all with me? So you find this same word in the Latin is N-E-K-R-O, and in Latin it means dead. You find it in Greek is N-E-C-R-O, which also means what? Dead. Now there's a law in English. Are y'all listening? There's a law in English called Grimm's Law of Consonants. I hope I spelled that right. I hope I did. And in Grimm's Law, it says the G, the K, and the C are all interchangeable without changing the meaning of the word. Did y'all hear that? According to Grimm's Law of Consonants, the G, the K, and the C are all interchangeable, and it doesn't change the meaning of the word. That's why you can spell America with a C, or you can spell America with 3 Ks, and it's still America. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now, if negro or negro means dead in Spanish, it means dead in Latin, it means dead in Greek, the question is, why did the enemy use this word to refer to black people? Now, if you get a dictionary, the dictionary will tell you that the word negro came into existence in English in the year 1555, which is the same year that the first boatload of black people were brought to America by a slave trader by the name of Sir John Hawkins, all praises due to Allah, on a ship named Jesus. Well, why did he name the ship Jesus? Because black people have always loved Jesus. I know you say, well, y'all Muslims, y'all don't believe in Jesus. Yes, we do. We're in a building called Mosque Mariam, and Mary is the mother of Jesus, so that everyone will know that as Muslims, we believe in Jesus. But why did the white man name the slave ship after Jesus? So you wouldn't have no problem getting on the ship. You understand what I'm saying? Why does the white man get a black man by the name of Michael Jordan and put his name on a tennis shoe? A shoe that costs him $5 to make, and then he turns around and sells it to you for $120, right? Because he knows you like him. And since you like him, you'll spend all that you have to get the shoe that's made by him or that has his name on it. You understand what I'm saying? He uses his name to deceive you into buying a shoe that is worthless. Well, he did the same thing. He put the name on a ship to get us on the ship, to get us over here. You understand? When Jesus never endorsed what the white man was doing. Are y'all with me? Can we move on? Now, so our question is, are black people dead? Y'all gonna say yes because y'all here in the mosque. You ask the average brother on the street, black people dead? And he say, Pookie died last week, you know, drive-by. But everybody else, we straight. You see what I'm saying? We straight, right? So now, what we have to understand is that there's more than one meaning of the word dead. Y'all with me? If you don't pay your phone bill, you pick up the phone and you hear that little clicking sound, but no dial tone, right? You hear click, click, click. It's like the dial tone is about to come, but it never comes. And you say the phone is what? The phone is dead, right? If you go to a Jay-Z concert, or, you know, y'all probably like, what's my man's name? Young Jock. And he's on stage, right? Meet me in the trap. It's going down, right? And you see the people in the crowd. He's doing a motorcycle dance with 50 people on stage, and the crowd is looking at him like this. You would say that the concert is what? Dead, right? If you go to a party on the low end, and the music is blasting, and it's a bunch of brothers standing on this wall over here, a bunch of fine black sisters on this wall over here, and nobody's dancing, you say the party is what? You say the party is dead, right? So dead has more than one meaning. Are y'all with me? We're not just talking about those who got shot in the drive-by, right? So the question is, are black people the ones that are dead? And if we are, who's going to come and raise the dead? Are y'all with me? Let's look at it. Well, the first category we'll look at is economically. Are black people economically dead? Wait a minute. Don't even say yes. I turn on the television, I'm watching Cribs, right? And they're in, what's my man's name? Red Man's house, right? Or they're in, who's some other people? What's the brother with the stripper pole in his house? Big Boy's house, right? And these people got 5 and 6 cars in the driveway, right? Pool out back. So how can you say that black people are economically dead? Right? You see 50, he's iced out everywhere. You see people spending $20,000 on a grill with diamonds in it. How can you say black people are economically dead? It's because, look around, we don't own the businesses where we live. Every group in this country, wherever they live, they own the businesses, right or wrong. Well, we're in the most segregated city in the United States. Let's see. If you go to Chinatown, who owns the businesses in Chinatown? Chinese people do, right? You look at the signs, you can't even read them because they're in Chinese, right or wrong. So now, do you think you as a black man could go into Chinatown and open up a Chinese food restaurant and the Chinese people buy from you? But what if they went into a Chinese food restaurant and the food wasn't good? Do you think they would buy from you then? They still wouldn't buy from you, right? So now, you go to where the Arabs live out by Ford City. Who owns the businesses where the Arabs live? Oh, you call them Arabs. Who owns the business where the Arabs live? They do, is that right? You can't go into the Arab neighborhood, opening a business in their community, selling their children pig feet. They will run you out of their neighborhood, right or wrong. If you go to Schaumburg where the Jews live, who owns the businesses? They do, right? If you go on Commercial where the Hispanics live, who owns the businesses? The Hispanics, right? Signs are in Spanish. You can't even read the signs, right? All you know is give me a taco. That's all you know, right? You go to Little Italy. Who owns the businesses? Italians do, is that right? You go to Greektown, and y'all go to Greektown because you like to eat in those restaurants, right? You look at the sign, it's in Greek. You don't know what it says. All you know is it's Greek food, it tastes good, right? So every ethnic group owns the businesses where they live, except who? Except black people. You got Arabs, you got Koreans, you got white, you got Jews, you got Hispanics, you got everybody but us. And some of you sisters will go to the nail shop, to the Koreans. You wouldn't even go to a black nail tech, right or wrong. You go to the Koreans, do you think they would come to you? And you go, I know you say, well, I did go to a black nail tech. I started there, but see, black people glue don't stick right. The glue ain't the same. They do a filler and it look all crazy, right? So you left the black nail tech and went to the Koreans and you sat down in front of them. She has a mask on, you have nothing. She's smiling at you. You think she likes you, but she's smiling because you've given her the money. That's the only reason. Go in there and say, let me get one on credit. And see him come from the back and throw you out. So now, us being economically dead is because we don't own the businesses where we live. And then when we open up a business, do we support that business? No, we don't. Is that right? That's because we're dead economically. See, when something is dead, it doesn't function the way that it's supposed to function. When the phone is dead, it's not functioning right, right? When the concert is dead and you got Young Jock on the stage or whoever you like, right? And people aren't dancing or moving, then you say it's dead. Is that right? So it's not functioning right. So economically, we would have to say yes. Is that right? What about politically? Now, I know you say, well, black people vote. We sure do vote. Every election, right? Yeah, we do vote. But what do we have for our vote? We have nothing to show for our participation in the political process, right? So now, and part of the reason is because we don't have any economics in our community. See, politics, as the Honorable Louis Farrakhan said, politics without economics is symbol without substance. What the politicians are doing are making laws to facilitate business in whatever community that they live in. That's what politicians do, right? So if we don't have any business, then the politician can't benefit us. You understand what I'm saying? And our politicians, many of them, when they get in office, do they serve our interest or do they serve white people's interests? Most of them serve white people's interests. You understand what I'm saying? So if we look politically dead. What about socially? How does society look at black people? They look up to black people, or they look down on black people? I'm gonna give you a few examples. Did y'all hear about the brother that got shot in New York on his wedding day, right? He's leaving the bachelor party. 3 brothers get in the car. Plainclothes police officer runs up. I guess the brothers thought they were getting jacked and try to drive away. 5 police officers come, unload 50 bullets in the car. 1 police officer reloaded and emptied his clip again. So now, and police brutality mostly happens to who? Black people. You heard of driving while black, right? Now, 1 white senator said he couldn't imagine getting pulled over because he was white. Even if you've never been pulled over because you were black, you could at least imagine that happening to you, right? Even if it's never happened, you can imagine. That's why black people are scared to pass the police. You see the police driving? He could be driving 5 miles an hour in a 35 zone, and no black person will pass the police except me. And I did do this. All praise is due to Allah. Now, I was on my way to work, and the police officer driving ridiculously slow. And I said, look, I'm not like all these other black people. I'm not scared to pass a police officer. So I passed him, and he pulled me over and gave me 2 bogus tickets. And I went to court, and I won the case, but I had to take a day off work to go to court. I don't know if y'all heard the song that Jay-Z did, Jigga Muhammad Not Guilty. Did y'all hear that? They remixed the song after I won the case. Okay, maybe y'all didn't hear. I don't know. All praise is due to Allah. Now, so we have the example of the brother in New York. When Hurricane Katrina came, why do you think it took the government so long to bring aid to black people? It's because of the way the society looks down on black people. In this society, black people are not valued, right? So when the news came out and these people were in a hurricane and they were going to find food so they could live, right? Which is only natural. And these stores have insurance, right or wrong. So what they were losing was already paid for, right? So now they put it on the news, and I have the article right here in my hand, because black people don't believe you. Unless you can bring a white man that says the same thing you're saying. Then they'll believe you. So now, here's the article from Salon.com, which is not black, it's white, okay? I'm just using it because I have to bring them so you will believe what I'm saying. Y'all got that? So now, Salon.com, they show how when they reported the black people going in the stores getting food to live, they called them looters, right? And when they reported the white people going in stores to get food to live, they called them finders. I'm gonna read it for you. A young man walks through chest-deep flood water after looting a grocery store in New Orleans on Tuesday, August 30th, 2005. Young black man. Now it's 2 white people. 2 residents wade through chest-deep water after finding bread and soda from a local grocery store. So now, why would they use a different language? All praise is due to Allah. It's because the way they view us in this society. Are y'all with me? I had an now. And we don't do anything to help the situation as black people. Y'all heard of Flavor Flav, right? He has a show called The Flavor of Love, right? And some of y'all love the show. I know. And I know some of y'all say, man, delicious, I don't care what you say, but delicious fine as hell, brother, you know what I'm saying? Right? That's what you say. Now, see, what the enemy has always wanted, so he could justify his view of us, he's always found one of us that justified his view of us. You understand what I'm saying? So now, I'm going to give you a man by the name of Burt Williams. Y'all remember when white people used to put on blackface, and they used to act like black people, right? So now, and they made a lot of, see, this is before movies were out. So the entertainment at that time, I'm trying to find the name. Minstrels, right. So you would come to these shows and there would be a white actor with shoe polish on his face, right? And he would be acting black, right? So now, and these people made millions of dollars. So a black man by the name of Burt Williams, he became a minstrel actor, right? And the white man paid him, and this is in like 1915. The white man paid him $6,500 a week to get on stage and make black people look bad. Now this is in 1915. $6,500 a week in 1915. That's like when a loaf of bread was a nickel, right? You could buy a whole bag of groceries for $3, right? This man is getting paid $6,500 a week. Y'all don't get $6,500 a week right now. And it's 2006. This is 1915. But he would pay him that because to justify his view of black people. Now, Bert Williams said in an interview that he couldn't even go to the local tavern and get a drink because blacks were not allowed. So what does that mean? See, the enemy used his portrayal, I'm talking about Bert Williams' portrayal of black people, to justify how he treated all the other black people, including Bert Williams. You understand what I'm saying? So see, you always hear these entertainers and athletes and rappers say, see, I got to get my money, you know what I'm saying? This is my new hustle. You know what I'm saying? I would be on the street slinging drugs in jail, right? But they use their portrayal of black people, I'm talking about in the modern time, to justify their treatment of all of us. You understand what I'm saying? So now, today, in today's money, $6,500 a week from 1950, in today's money, that's like $3.5 million a year, which is about what they're paying these people today, right? Some more, some less. So now, black people are economically, politically, socially dead, right? What about spiritually? What about spiritually? And you know we be in church, singing, doing backflips, right? Running up and down the aisle, catching the Holy Ghost, right? And I know when I was in church they did that. And some of y'all went to church and got scared and came to the mosque, right? Somebody caught the Holy Ghost right next to you, you were scared, right? Slob coming all out their mouth. Sister came, girl, whoo, she caught it today. They take her to the back, she all laid out, right? So now, how can we say that black people are spiritually dead when it seems as though we're the ones with the most spirit? But now, see, the spirit represents the spirit of God, right? So now, how can you be in church or in the mosque or in the synagogue and you see your brother and you talking about him behind his back, but you spiritually alive, right? Or you talking about a sister, girl, look at what she got on. She look crazy, right? But you're supposed to be spiritually alive. See, if we were spiritually alive, it would reflect in the way that we treated one another. But do we treat one another as though we're spiritually alive? Yes or no? No, we don't. You go in the hood, you see a brother with a platinum chain on, with a big white Jesus on the end, right? He's in the car with his boys, and let's roll on that food. Let's roll on that food. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They roll up real slow. He's out the window with the gun. Plow, 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 plow. And it's a 5-year-old on the porch getting shot, right? All he was doing was drinking Kool-Aid. They go back to the house, man, you said we shot that fool, he dropped this Kool-Aid, man. Then he picks up the Jesus chain, Jesus bless me to kill that fool. So now how can you be spiritually alive? Jesus is not with that. You turn on the television, we're at the awards show, right? Butt naked on TV with a sticker over our nipple, and the first thing that comes out of our mouth, oh, I want to thank God. You're naked on television, and you want to thank God. It's, you know, you can't be both. I'm sorry. What about morally? Are we morally dead? I mean, who do we honor in the black community? You honor somebody that's been teaching in the schools for 30 years? No. You'll rob her, right? But if the bishop, y'all know who the bishop is, right? Don Juan. If Bishop rolls up in the hood, he gets nothing but love, right? The man's a pimp. But the teacher gets no love, but the pimp gets what? Gets love. You see a nun feeding the poor. You knock in the head, bam! What you doing feeding the hungry? What's wrong with you, right? But the stripper walks out the club. Oh, what's up, what's up, what's up? How can a brother be down, right? So the stripper gets love, But the nun or the virtuous sister, are you a virgin? The hell is wrong with you? Right? You looking at it like you smell something. Right? So now, morally, and I'm going to talk more about this later, but morally black people are dead in all of these categories, right? So now, the question is, who is going to raise the dead? Is that right? Are we clear on who the dead are? We're clear on who the dead are. I may come back to the chalkboard. But let's move on. Now, see, the reason that we are the dead is because it's not by design. See, God doesn't make Negroes. God didn't make us Negroes. We were made Negroes when we were brought over here. There's a process to making a Negro. Are y'all with me? Now, let me write this down real quick. We're taught that the first boatload of black people were brought here in 1555, right? But the enemy says, well, no, the first group of black people were brought in here in 1619, not 1555, right? With John Hawkins, right? And the reason he says that is because there are 64 years of history that is not in the history books. Because it took 64 years to make a Negro. Y'all remember that show, the $64,000 question? The question is, how long does it take to make a Negro? It takes 64 years. How did they make a Negro? How did they take us from being the great men and women in Africa that we were, that civilized Europe, and make us into what we are now? How did they make us into baby mamas? How did they make that? How did they make us into men that would have 5 children by 5 different women and won't get a job? How did he do that, right? There's a process into making a Negro. Are y'all with me? There was a time where we referred to ourselves as colored people. Is that right? Yes, sir. But we never looked up the word colored to know what it means. Colored means to distort, to change. Let me get one more. To be biased. So now this is not a description of us, but this is a description of what the enemy did to us. So in the lessons, it calls the enemy the colored man, because what has happened, he's colored our perception of reality. So when we were growing up, right, we played, cowboys and Indians, right? And the Indians were the bad guys, and the cowboys were the good guys. And the reality is the cowboys were the bad guys, and the Native Americans were the good guys. Is that right? But they colored our perception of reality. Is that right? They colored our perception of Paul Robeson and said he was a communist. Is that right? They colored our perception of Marcus Garvey. They colored our perception of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And they tried to color our perception of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan by saying that he's a racist, that he's an anti-Semite. Is that right? But they never define those words, do they? Well, I'm going to bring a definition so that we will know that the Honorable Louis Farrakhan is not what they describe of what a racist is. A racist or racism is the unjust treatment of a people by others who falsely believe that their race by nature is superior to another, and who have the political and economic and military ability to enforce their attitude. We don't have that ability. You can't pull a white man over and give him 20 tickets. Can you do that? Black police don't even think like that. Is that right? Can you turn off somebody's gas? No, you can't do that. You can get yours turned off. Is that right? So now, we're not colored. What about Negroes? Are we Negroes? Now, the term that we use today is nigger, but it's the same word. And all it means is a person that is dead. Dead mentally, dead spiritually, dead economically, dead socially. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? The word Negro is a word that means dead. Are you with me? It's not a good word. I know what you say. You say, well, see, what you got to understand is when we call each other niggas, see, we're taking the power away from the white man. So he can't hurt us with the word. So we use the word like that, brother. Well, why don't we follow that same logic with everything else? When the police pull you over, why don't you beat yourself up? Take the power away from him to beat you up. Beat yourself up. You understand what I'm saying? When you go in the bank to get a loan for a house, ask them to give you a higher interest rate. Don't wait for them to jack the interest rate up. Tell them, look, so you don't have the power to give me a higher interest rate. I want a higher interest rate. You don't do that, do you? When you go to buy a house, tell them, I want my house on a landfill so I can die from the poisons that are coming up from under the ground. So now you don't have the power to do it. I'm going to do it to myself. That's crazy. But I'm going to tell you why we act like that. When you go to negotiate your salary, tell him you want the lowest possible salary. To remove the power from him to give you the lowest possible salary. Makes no sense. Now, you're not a nigga. You're not a Negro. See, we just want to make an excuse to make the white man right in what he did to us. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Now, are we African Americans? What are you talking about? We're from Africa. We live in America. How do you mean we're not African Americans? Who was Africa named after? Who was America named after? Africa was named after a man, a Roman general by the name of Scipio Africanus. I have a picture of him. That's it right there. Now, when Hannibal conquered Rome, you know, the black general from North Africa, Hannibal conquered Rome, Scipio Africanus led a sneak attack back to North Africa. And he conquered North Africa. And now let me go back and say this. There was a small tribe in North Africa with that name, just a small tribe. So when this man came and conquered Africa, they gave him the name Africanus. Then the Romans are the ones that renamed not that just small area Africa, but the whole continent. Are y'all with me? So the reason that we call it Africa is not because that small tribe had that name. The reason that we call it Africa is because this white man conquered Africa. And America, if you could flip it over for me, America is named after another white man, Amerigo Vespucci. So now, why would you call yourself after two white men? Now, thank you, Brother Shaheed. Everywhere, all praise is due to Allah. See, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us root knowledge, not branch knowledge. See, everywhere the Europeans went when they started to explore the world, they found black people there already. So we can't limit ourselves just to Africa, nor can we limit ourselves just to America, nor can we limit ourselves just to these two continents when the whole planet Earth belongs to the black man and woman. Are y'all with me? All praise is due to Allah. The earth is ours. So now, let's deal with this last one. Should we call ourselves black? I know what you're saying. Well, there's no country called black. We just said that we're from everywhere. You can't limit us to a landmass. But what does black mean? Black means universal. Black is not local. Black is universal. Black is not national. Black is universal. Black is not a color. It's the essence of all colors. Everything in the universe came from blackness. The scientists call it dark matter. Is that right? Every life in the universe comes out of triple darkness. Where did you come from? You came out of your mother's womb. Is that right? Did you have a flashlight? What about a nightlight? What about a candle? No, you were in triple darkness. What about when you plant a seed? Where do you put it? In the darkness of the earth. Is that right? And then it comes up. What about the chicken that's in the egg? It's in what? Darkness. Is that right? All life in the universe comes out of darkness, comes out of blackness. So this is why we call ourselves black, not because it's a color, because it's the essence of all color.
where all life came from. All praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. Now, this is why judges wear black, because it represents the power and the authority that they have over the law. This is why when you graduate from high school, they give you what? A black robe to represent the power of the knowledge that supposedly you attain. But in the public school system, that's not why. You just got a black robe. The highest belt in martial arts is the what? Is the black belt. You can't go past black. We have a man here that's an 8th or 10th degree what? Black. He's not getting out of black. He can just go higher into the levels of black. But he ain't getting out of black into something else. The lowest belt is a white belt. Just had to throw that out there. Now, just had to throw it out there. Now, I know you say, well, don't black represent death? Isn't that why they wear black at funerals? No. The reason that people wear black at funerals is because black or dark colors absorb light, and the black represents them drawing energy from one another to get through the hard time. Are y'all with me? So now, all praise is due to Allah.
Impressed me of how bad he was. I'm a bad nigga. And I said, brother, I said, Jesus doesn't make niggas. Niggas are the product of white people. Well, why do you want to stay where the white man puts you? Ain't you tired of being a nigger? Ain't you tired of being a low-life, lying, crooked, stealing, gambling freak?
Nature and my nature. You are not niggers. You are not coons. You may smoke reefer and drink wine and do crazy, wicked things, but you are not a wicked person by nature. You have lent yourself to wickedness, but you are a divine creature that must now come into the knowledge and power of your own divinity. And no preacher can resurrect you into your divinity. It takes God himself to bring you into your own divine nature. So we're not dealing with prophets. We have walked out of prophets teaching this is the time and the presence of God. So I don't talk about God will come. God is already here. And he's working in me to resurrect you to your divine nature.